The oceans of our world are littered with the shattered remains of ships lost to time, storms, and secrets. Some disappeared without a trace for decades, only to be found in the most surprising corners of the deep, while others stir weird questions about what truly happened aboard. Every sunken ship carries a story, but not all stories end with answers. So join us for today's video, as we're going to count down 15 of the most spooky and mysterious shipwrecks ever found in the world. Number 15, Swedish warship Vasa. Vasa was the world's most high-tech warship when it set sail. In 1628, this Swedish beauty set out on her maiden voyage after 2 years of construction, filled with high hopes and even higher ambitions. Armed with 64 cannons, the Vasa was meant to symbolize Sweden's naval power, but it became a disaster almost immediately. Barely making it 1 nautical mile from the harbor, the ship caught a strong gust of wind, tilted dangerously, and quickly sank after water poured through its open gun ports. The Vasa remained at the bottom of Stockholm harbor for more than 3 centuries, remarkably well preserved thanks to the cold, low-salinity waters of the Baltic Sea. It wasn't until the 1950s that a major salvage operation succeeded in bringing it back to the surface. Today, the Vasa sits proudly in a museum in Stockholm, offering visitors an extraordinary glimpse into 17th century shipbuilding, life at sea, and one of maritime history's most embarrassing disasters. While Vasa didn't work out well for Gustav II Adolf, it's become a boon for archaeologists. Number 14, SS Kotapaci. This ship was originally built under emergency shipbuilding orders during the First World War for the U.S. Shipping Board. It was launched in November 1918, just missing the end of the war by a few days, and arrived in Boston on December 22, 1918. Over the years, it suffered damage, first grounding off the coast of Brazil, and later colliding with a tugboat near Cuba, sinking the smaller vessel. Then, in 1925, the Kotapaci departed Charleston, South Carolina, bound for Havana, Cuba, carrying a cargo of coal. The ship and its 32 crew members disappeared without a trace. Many believed it had been swallowed by the mysterious Bermuda Triangle, the infamous region between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, where dozens of vessels and aircraft have vanished under strange circumstances. For decades, Kotapaci's fate remained a mystery, but divers eventually found the wreck just 35 miles off the coast of St. Augustine, Florida. It turns out the ship likely sank during a powerful storm, not by any paranormal force or aliens. Number trace, Nuestra Señora de Atocha. In 1622, the Spanish galleon Nuestra Señora de Atocha joined a treasure fleet leaving Havana, packed with gold, silver, emeralds, and other riches from the New World. It was full of what most people always dream. The voyage should have been straightforward, but a ferocious hurricane scattered the fleet, and the Atocha sank off the Florida Keys. All attempts by the Spanish to recover the ship's treasure over the following years failed. The wreck sat hidden for centuries, fueling legends of unimaginable wealth lost beneath the waves. In 1985, treasure hunter Mel Fisher finally located the remains of the Atocha after a relentless search spanning over a decade. The discovery set off massive legal battles between the finders and the state of Florida, but ultimately the courts ruled in favor of Fisher's team. They recovered an astonishing fortune of gold bars, emeralds, and silver coins. Today, the Atocha stands as one of the greatest treasure finds ever made, embodying adventure, perseverance, and high-stakes fortune hunting. Number 12, SS Andrea Doria. In July 1956, the SS Andrea Doria, a luxury Italian ocean liner, was nearing the end of her voyage to New York City when disaster struck. Thick fog surrounded the ship off the coast of Nantucket, Massachusetts, forcing heavy reliance on radar for navigation. Misinterpretations of radar readings led to a fatal collision with the MS Stockholm, another passenger vessel traveling eastbound. The impact tore a massive hole in the Andrea Doria's side, and despite desperate efforts to save her, she capsized and sank 11 hours later. Sadly, 52 people lost their lives during this incident, while over 1,600 were rescued in one of the most dramatic peacetime sea rescues ever conducted. The sinking shocked the world and highlighted serious issues in radar usage and maritime communication. As of now, the wreck of the Andrea Doria lies broken on the ocean floor, remembered both for its elegance and the tragedy that ended its brief career. Divers still venture to the site, although it remains notoriously dangerous. So, be careful. Number 11. H.L. Hunley. The H.L. Hunley was a Confederate submarine built during the American Civil War. Designed with a single mission to break the Union blockade in a way no one could imagine in their thoughts. Small and hand-cranked by a crew of 8, it was an early and risky experiment in underwater warfare. On February 17, 1864, the Hunley made history by sinking the USS Housatonic off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina. However, the success came at a heavy price tag. Shortly after the attack, the Hunley itself vanished beneath the waves, its fate unknown for more than a century. When divers finally located the wreck in 1995, they found the submarine surprisingly intact and even eerier, the remains of the crew still seated at their posts. Today, the H.L. Hunley rests inside a conservation lab, where researchers study the mysterious circumstances of its final moments. The submarine's story remains both a triumph of innovation and a somber reminder of the extreme dangers faced by early naval pioneers during wartime. It's insane. Number 10. Steam Yacht Ganilda. Commissioned in 1897, the steam yacht Ganilda was a vessel of lavish luxury, built for wealthy industrialist J. Rogers Maxwell. It was one of a kind, outfitted with the finest furnishings and cutting-edge amenities of the time. The yacht represented the height of opulence. However, in 1911, while cruising Lake Superior near the Canadian coast, the Ganilda struck a submerged rock. The hull was torn open, and the yacht sank quickly into the cold waters. Several crew members lost their lives in the incident. For decades, the wreck remained a secret beneath Lake Superior's deep and frigid waters. When it was eventually located by divers in 1967, they found an astonishingly well-preserved time capsule of early 20th century maritime life. Today, the Ganilda sits upright on the lakebed, nearly intact, offering a haunting glimpse into a bygone era. It's widely regarded by divers as one of the best-preserved examples of a luxury steam yacht lost to history, frozen in time beneath the cold, silent depths. So, money can't stop destruction. Number 9. The World Trade Center ship. Amid the massive excavation following the September 11th attacks, an unexpected find surfaced at Ground Zero in 2010. Deep beneath the layers of Manhattan's urban sprawl, construction workers uncovered the remains of an 18th century wooden ship. Historians soon determined it had been built from timber harvested around 1773 in southeastern Pennsylvania, the same region that supplied materials for American Revolutionary landmarks. The vessel, a type known as a sloop, had long since been discarded and buried, likely during efforts to extend the shoreline of the Hudson River in the early development of New York City. Over time, landfill projects completely entombed the old boat, preserving it under tons of soil and debris. The discovery was a striking reminder of the city's early maritime past, hidden beneath layers of steel and concrete. It remains one of the more haunting and surreal finds associated with the rebuilding of Lower Manhattan, blending centuries of American history in a single unexpected moment. Number 8. SS Beimo. The SS Beimo earned a strange and almost supernatural reputation after being abandoned in Arctic waters in 1931. Built in 1914 for the Hudson's Bay Company, the cargo steamer became trapped in pack ice near Alaska while transporting trade goods. After a fierce storm, her crew assumed she had been destroyed, but the Beimo had slipped free and continued to drift on her own. For decades, she was spotted wandering the Beaufort Sea, occasionally boarding and sometimes disappearing without a trace. Many who encountered the ship described her as a ghostly presence, battered by ice yet refusing to sink. Despite multiple salvage attempts, no one could successfully claim her. The last confirmed sighting occurred in 1969, after which she vanished from all records. Whether resting on the seabed or still hidden beneath Arctic ice, the Beimo's story lingers as one of the most bizarre maritime mysteries, blending survival, nature's brutality, and a ship's stubborn refusal to be forgotten. Number 7. Le Griffin. Launched in 1679, Le Griffin was the pride of French explorer René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de la Salle, and marked the beginning of ambitious fur trading ventures across North America's Great Lakes. After successfully collecting valuable furs from Native American tribes, the ship set sail across Lake Michigan toward Fort Frontenac. However, somewhere along the journey, Le Griffin vanished without a trace. Numerous theories have surfaced over the centuries, ranging from fierce storms to hostile attacks or even mutiny among the crew. Despite occasional claims of finding its remains, no confirmed discovery has ever been made. The disappearance of Le Griffin remains one of the oldest and most enduring maritime mysteries on the continent. It stands as an eerie symbol of the challenges early explorers faced while navigating vast, unpredictable waters. Even after centuries of searching, the fate of this small but historically significant ship continues to spark curiosity among historians and treasure hunters alike. Number 6. SS Edmund Fitzgerald. The SS Edmund Fitzgerald was a giant among freighters, hauling iron ore across the Great Lakes during her career. On November 10, 1975, she embarked on what would be her final voyage across Lake Superior. Caught in a devastating storm with hurricane-force winds and towering waves, the Fitzgerald sent out troubling messages but never a clear distress call. Before rescue efforts could mobilize, she broke apart and vanished beneath the surface, taking all 29 crew members with her. Investigations into the sinking produced theories ranging from structural failure to massive rogue waves, but no definitive cause was ever agreed upon. The wreck was later found split in two on the lakebed, silent and solemn. The loss of the Edmund Fitzgerald inspired songs, memorials, and ongoing fascination with the dangers faced by ships in even the largest inland seas. Her story stands as a sobering reminder of how quickly nature can overwhelm even the most powerful vessels. All right, guys, now let's head over to Number 5. Shipwrecks in the Gulf of Mexico. Testing new underwater drone equipment turned into an unexpected discovery for a NOAA team exploring the Gulf of Mexico. They came across a shipwreck dating back to the 19th century, a vessel believed to be either a schooner or brig around 124 feet long. Most of the hull remained intact, though the ship's rigging had long since disappeared. Upon closer inspection, they noticed the timbers were badly charred, and some of the ship's fasteners were bent out of shape, strong clues pointing toward a fire breaking out on board before it sank. Surprisingly, the wreck carried very few personal items or artifacts, supporting the theory that the vessel's crew abandoned ship in a hurry. The combination of fire damage and the isolated resting place paints a haunting picture of the ship's final hours. Even though no name has been officially tied to the wreck, its sudden end adds another eerie chapter to the long maritime history of the Gulf. Number 4. Mary Rose. The Mary Rose was one of King Henry VIII's prized warships, a symbol of English naval power during the 16th century. She was a star of her time. After years of successful service, her luck ran out during the Battle of the Solent in 1545 against a French invasion fleet. While maneuvering to engage the enemy, the Mary Rose suddenly listed to one side and rapidly sank, taking hundreds of sailors with her into the depths off Portsmouth. For centuries, the wreck remained largely forgotten until it was rediscovered in 1971 by maritime archaeologists. The raising of the Mary Rose in 1982 was a landmark event, yielding thousands of artifacts that offered a rare, detailed glimpse into Tudor life. Weapons, tools, personal belongings, and even skeletal remains were recovered, painting a vivid picture of the people who lived and died aboard. Today, the ship and its treasures are displayed in a dedicated museum, preserving one of Britain's most important maritime stories for future generations to study and reflect upon. Number 3. RMS Lucatania. When the RMS Lucatania launched in 1906, it represented the peak of ocean travel, fast, enormous, and built for luxury. But on May 7, 1915, during its 202nd Atlantic crossing, a German U-boat torpedoed the ship just 11 miles off the coast of Ireland. The Lusitania sank in just 18 minutes, killing 1,198 passengers and crew, including 128 Americans. The tragedy shocked the world and helped push the United States closer to entering the First World War. Germany claimed the ship was transporting munitions, a fact that was officially confirmed much later in 1982. Although the Lusitania was a civilian ship, it became a wartime casualty, sparking intense debate about the rules of engagement. The wreck still lies on the seafloor as a sobering reminder of the lives lost. It remains one of the most infamous passenger ship disasters ever recorded, with a legacy intertwined with history far beyond the day it sank. So, what do you say about it? Number 2. HMS Terror and HMS Arabus. Well, now, this is sad. During the ill-fated Franklin expedition of 1845, two British Royal Navy ships, HMS Terror and HMS Arabus, set out to explore the uncharted sections of the Northwest Passage. Instead, they became trapped in thick Arctic ice near King William Island in 1846. The crews endured brutal winters, dwindling supplies, and desperate conditions for nearly 2 years before abandoning the ships in a final doomed attempt to trek to safety. None survived. For over 160 years, the fate of the Terror and Erebus remained one of history's coldest mysteries. That changed in 2014 and 2016, when Canadian expeditions located both wrecks, astonishingly well preserved in the icy waters. These finds opened a new window into the harrowing final days of the cruise, offering personal artifacts, journals, and clues about their desperate struggle against starvation and exposure. The Terror and Erebus remain chilling reminders of how exploration often comes at a devastating human cost, far from any hope of rescue. Number 1. Antithera Shipwreck. Off the rocky coast of Antithera, a trading vessel met its end during the first half of the 1st century BC. Over time, what was left behind became a treasure chest for archaeologists. Hidden under heavy boulders, likely dumped there by an earthquake in the 4th century AD, the wreck has slowly revealed remarkable finds. Bronze statues, priceless artifacts, and the famous Antithera mechanism, a mysterious device often considered the world's first analog computer, were all pulled from the deep. Among the debris was a strange bronze disc with holes and a bull's image stamped on it, an item that continues to puzzle experts today. The site remains partially inaccessible due to the giant stones covering large parts of it. Even after decades of research, so much about the ship's cargo and its final voyage remains unknown. Ancient wrecks like this remind us how much history still lies silent beneath the oceans, hidden and waiting for new hands to uncover it. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you very soon.